been driven from my town, from my family. I've got kids in Telford that I'll probably never be able to have a proper relationship with because of all this. You know, it's lost a lot. I got used to it. I was used to it. I was used to him raping me every fucking day and every week. But I'm not used to not seeing my kids. I'm not used to having the people that I love the most being so far away from me. And that's what hurts, that's what kills. I just want to live normal, have my kids, have my family. But I'll never be able to do that because no one gives a shit. Well, people do care, but the people that should, social services, the council, the police, they don't care.
This is the last van load. I've done four runs, and then it's sad, isn't it? It's sad, but the family at least will be hopefully somewhere safe. Well, they will be somewhere safe. Their stuff, don't know how long it's going to remain in storage till the council can get them a new house. But it's a travesty that the families of survivors are having to leave this town, whilst the men roam around like they own it.
Countless time, finance and man-hours have gone into the reconnaissance and intel of our alleged perpetrators. They've carried on living their lives. Some of them have families, some have moved away. Some own multiple businesses. They're living very good lives in those towns and cities. Some are in everyday contact still right now with children. We owe it to all the survivors of these gangs that they're confronted, that they're challenged, and at the very least they're asked to explain how and why such crimes have been allowed to take place.
Hi there.
Hello, love.
I've come to do the boiler service.
Yeah, please. Yeah, I am. Yeah. So, what's your name?
It's Raj.
Raj. Okay.
W-A-J, Raj. Cambridge Gas. Can I just take a quick look at any other gas appliances?
Yeah, actually, I wanted you. Oh, sorry, let me just
Raj.
check
Hi.
How are you? I bet you didn't think you'd be seeing me here, did you? I got some questions to ask you about allegations of child rape. You raped a 12-year-old girl, you took her virginity in the house next door to a mosque in Telford. What do you have to say about that, kid? Thanks. What do you have to say about that, Raj? What do you have to say? You took her to the weekend and you raped her. What do you have to say? Why do I have multiple girls? Why are there multiple girls who make allegations that you raped them? You trafficked them. You're part of a Pakistani rape mafia who have targeted this town and destroyed girl and child after child's lives. What do you have to say, Raj? Raj, how have you got clearance? You're on a stalking charge, right? You're a convicted rapist. How have you got clearance to come to vulnerable ladies' houses on their own? Do you mind explaining that to me, Raj? How have you got clearance, Raj? How have you managed to get clearance? I'm not going to arrest Raj until you cannot enter any lady's house on your own. What do you say to the allegation you took Correne dad up to the weekend you raped her when she was 12? She was fighting you to keep her knickers and pants on while you dragged them off of her. She's a 12-year-old child. You was, what, mid-20s, Raj? What do you have to say to that, Raj? What do you have to say to it? Total silence. Total silence, Raj. How many girls have you raped? How many child's lives in Telford were destroyed by you and your gang, Raj? And now you walk around like there's no trouble in the world. Girl after girl's lives are totally destroyed. Do you want to leave, Raj?
Yes, please. Okay,
what do you have to say, Raj? I'm not going to arrest until you've lost your job, your career, and everything, bro. You're not going to be walking. You're a convicted rapist, aren't you? I'm moving, mate. I'm moving that way. You're a convicted rapist, aren't you, Raj? You've already been convicted of rape, but yet you're walking into ladies' houses. What do you have to say about that? How have you got entrance into ladies' houses, Raj? Huh? How many children have you raped in Telford? How many children and families' lives in this town have been destroyed due to you and your Pakistani gang raping them? What do you have to say, Raj? Nothing. What do you have to say to the allegations? A 12-year-old girl, she fought you while she dragged her knickers off her when she was 12 years old in the house next door to the mosque, Raj. What do you have to say? You didn't think this was going to come back to you, did you? You thought you got away with all these crimes. You've already done time for rape, haven't you, Wedge? Just because this is your right to reply, Wedge.
No, follow me.
This is your right to reply.
No, that's
so you can get on your phone to your little Pakistani mates.
No, it's not that.
That's how you play it. That's how you play it.
See, this is the thing.
There's no risk to you here, is there, Wedge? There's no risk to you here.
Come on, no, there is.
There's no. What's the risk?
So I'm inviting you, so follow me.
You're inviting me. What? Come on, Wedge. What's the risk? What's the risk, bro? What's the risk? Wedge.
Follow me.
Your career's over, bro.
Follow me.
Your career's over.
No.
You destroyed little girls' lives, Wedge.
No, follow me.
Follow you. What for, Malagate? I just want you to answer the questions. This is your right to reply, Wedge. This is your right to reply. Okay, so okay, you drive there. Come on, get in the car. We ain't all fitting in this car, lads. Cameras, get the cameras in the car. Come on. We've just confronted this alleged rapist in Telford. We have multiple sources, multiple girls who name him some horrific crimes, raping them in the Wrekin, in the hills, raping a 12-year-old girl, taking her virginity. All these different crimes. He was part of a massive gang of men that participated in these crimes against young children, trafficked them, profited off them, tortured them, drugged them. And we've just confronted him in a house. We wanted to get him away so we can ask him the questions. We've asked him the questions. He told us to follow him. We're following him. He's pulling up at the police station. Do you know the problem is? These lot are so confident about the police because the police are on their side. The police have actually made sure that these girls can't be witnesses. Look, he's getting all the cars on red. Take the keys. Come on, Wedge. Where you going? Wedge, you lot are that confident that the police are in your pockets, aren't you? How many police officers are on the payroll of your gangs in this town? How come you're that confident? Wedge, this is your right to reply. This is your right to reply, Wedge. What do you have to say? Wedge, you dragged a 12-year-old girl and you raped her. You forcefully raped her with gangs of men.
Allegations against me.
You forcefully raped a 12-year-old girl. You took her to the Wrekin and you raped her, Wedge. What do you have to say? Wedge, you're a convicted rapist already, aren't you? You're on a stalking charge, Wedge. I don't know why.
The police will deal with everything.
They don't need to deal with it, mate. You've got away with it. Men in this town, Pakistani men in this town, got away with destroying young girls' lives. Now, you're famous. Everyone's going to know who you are.
I was scared and I was saying to him, don't do that and don't take my trousers off, and I was fighting him and trying to keep my trousers up, and he was just pulling them down.
Wedge, simple question. Why would Correne Dad make this up?
Right. I need...
Wedge, why would she make this up? Why would another girl, I've got another girl who doesn't know Correne, who says you raped her. Why would they make it up about you? Why would these girls randomly make up that you have raped them, trafficked them? Why would they do that? In your sister's house, in the house next door to the mosque, they give us locations. We've been to see the places where you raped them. We know all the gang members. We know that you passed them around. We know that you made her duck down in the car when she was 12 years old because she drove past her mum.
Right.
What do you have to say to that? Why would she make that up?
Before they'd even pull up, the passenger seat car would be back, all the way back. So they'd say to you, jump in and lie down.
Do you remember which men were in the car?
There was a one man in the car, yeah.
Who's that?
Wedge.
Why would she make that up?
Right.
Why would she make that up?
Can I speak?
Yeah. They're not going to help you. Right, this is a documentary.
I'm being intimidated inside a police station.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you want the police protection, do you?
No.
You terrorise young girls, and now here you are hiding from the... You want the police.
Allegations.
He doesn't care, bruv, right? Because he knows what yous have been up to. Everyone knows what yous have been up to. Yeah? Your life is changing now, Wedge. Okay, bro? Your life's changing. Everyone's going to know who you are. You see, Baxi, I'm not going to arrest till this is gone. Till you can't enter a woman's house again, bruv. Yeah? Everyone's going to know.
Excuse me.
So, Wedge, look at you running to the police.
I'm being intimidated inside the police
Look
station.
at you running to the police, Wedge. You're a big brave man with this 12-year-old girl, isn't you? What are you scared from?
No, I'm not scared
Here
of
you are. So why are you hiding in a police station?
No.
Why have you run to a police station?
I'm not. Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Wedge, you're not going to answer, no?
No, let's go.
Why would these girls make up, Wedge? Wedge, why would these girls make up? Why would they make up? Give me one reason why random girls who don't know each other would make up that you raped them, Wedge. Wedge, you're a star in episode 5 of The Rape of Britain.
No.
You're a star of episode. You're a star. You're a star of episode 5.
No, I don't want you nothing to do.
You're a star of episode 5 of The Rape of Britain. You're a star of episode 5 of The Rape of Britain, Wedge.
Right.
He's coming to you guys for protection because, to be honest, Telford Police have protected them for the last 30 years.
No, 1 second.
You've been protected by Telford Police, haven't you, for 30 years, Wedge?
He's making
You've been
serious
protected.
allegations.
You've been protected. You and your gangs have been
Against
protected
me.
for 30 years by this police force.
I'll tell you what, throw a word over you on the side so you actually know where we are with it.
Well, I'm just doing my job, mate. That's what I'm here. You can do your job. I haven't committed a crime. I'm asking this man questions.
I can't talk.
So what do you have to say? You're that confident that the police are going to protect you,
The
aren't you?
reason I'm at the police station is because he's making serious allegations.
I'm not making serious
What I'm
allegations.
saying
Young girls are making serious
is,
allegations, Wedge.
if there's any truth in that,
Children make
I'm
allegations.
here.
Wedge,
He needs to speak to the police.
Lads, the girls have made allegations.
If there's a case to
Well,
answer,
smash the house up, lads.
I'm here and I'll answer it.
Lads.
It's as simple as that. So now you know that he's full of shit.
You're in episode 5 of the Rape Britain.
Now you know he's full of shit because I'm here.
Why would the girls make up, lads?
If I've done something wrong,
Lads, why would the girls make up? Why would the girls make up, lads? Why would the girls make up, lads? Why would the girls... You're going to see the girls saying it on TV. It's in the documentary. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Bring them here.
You're going to see it, lads.
You want to help us disclose or anything, dude?
That's it, mate. I'm done. It's on our documentary. It's coming out soon, yeah?
So you want to tell us anything?
I've come and tried to tell you 100 things. You have left vulnerable girls in situations where you've allowed their houses to be smashed up, you've allowed them to be driven from this country so that those gangs get away with it. Not you individually, but your police force has stood by and allowed this to go on. Not just allowed it to go on, but they've actually allowed the girls to be targeted, driven, intimidated and fearful, and you haven't done the protection jobs that you should do. This is how confident they are. Look where the rapist runs straight to. He's run to you help. Yeah. Somewhere, one of your commanders is going to be helping him.
But ordinarily, when we get jobs in like this, where someone's in the community's worked and found things and got things,
I've come to your police, mate. I went to.
Like, the evidence that
Yeah, I've done that with your police force.
I haven't dealt with you before.
Okay, so your high-ranking police officer on episode 2 refused to take information from us.
Rob Rondell doesn't want to meet with Tommy.
These rapists and these gangs, the police identified 200 rapists in this town. They charged 11. They've been protected. These gangs have been protected by this police force for 30 years. It's the first place he run to.
It's affected everything. Affected how I look after my kids, my life in general. I've had times where I've drunk quite a lot, so I've been kind of like an alcoholic. I've taken drugs and stuff like that, not too much of hard drugs, but I have taken drugs. I can't settle. I can't stay in a relationship. I don't trust men. So yeah, it's affected everything really. It's still happening. There's still young girls being groomed. They're still raping the girls. They've got girls that they've groomed as a child, and now they're selling them as an adult, and that's because they've got them hooked on drugs as a child, and they still need the drugs now, so they're still selling them now. There's still girls, young girls, underage girls as well, getting groomed.
Correne's story of one of many, a very young, impressionable schoolgirl, plied with drugs and raped by hundreds of Muslim men, hundreds at a time, an unspeakable crime with lasting effects to this day. As we've seen, these men walk free to live their lives, free to mingle in society, free to even potentially carry on feeding on the vulnerable. Now, this story also highlights the massive failures of the police and social services. How has this happened? How come no one's been arrested, even though statements detailing all of those allegedly involved have been made? The answer to this, I'll leave you to decide. Thank you for watching this episode of The Rape of Britain. Myself and the production team here at Urban Scoop, we don't do this for praise or reward. We do this for justice. We hope these actions will bring some form of resolution to the survivors, and we can hope that by shining a light on such matters, which the mainstream media and everyone else shies away from, any exposure acts as a deterrent for those involved. And finally, we hope that together we can create a safer future for our sons and daughters to live free in the United States.